Great. Maybe if you remember, if you walk us through a bit of your sort of emotional state and kind of handling what your deferral was like, since I know it can be an extremely just stressful, it's disappointing, it can be frustrating. You put so much work into your early application, and I'm sure there's a lot of why, like, why was I deferred? Um, so maybe the both of you can talk a little bit about your experiences with that, how you managed it, kind of getting over that, getting back into productivity mode. And also, if you think there was a particular reason you were deferred, or if you think your application could have been strengthened anywhere. So maybe like a two-part question of how you handled the emotional like stress of it, and then also if you have any thoughts on your deferral. So we'll go back to you, Noah.
Yeah, there. Getting deferred is definitely not a fun experience. I was, I handled it well, I think, but still, I was very discouraged. I felt like, especially since it was my first deferral and my only deferral, I felt like it was like, okay, that's it. I'm not going to college. And so I guess I just want to say that don't feel that way. You're still going to go to college, and you still have a shot at it. So first things first, don't give up. Don't get discouraged. Even if it was your number one choice, like Harvard was mine, yeah, you still have a shot even at that school that you were deferred at. Why I think I was deferred? I think my answer is very simple, but I think it was because my scores were not high enough. My standardized testing scores were not high enough. So one way to actually have improved my chances of getting in on the regular decision round was to prep for those lower scores and make them better. Yeah.
When you say that, do you mean prepping for them after the deferral and retaking them, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got my deferral like mid-December, like 15th, I think. And I was scheduled to have one more ACT test at that time. And if you look at the school's exact policies, you can actually send the scores in later and they will still consider them. So it's important to like check each school's specific, like when is the last ACT score for the regular decision round. And so I did that, and I did end up sending them better scores. Yeah.
Got it. All right, go to you, Marissa.
Okay. So I was really bummed when I heard about the deferral. I still remember I was at school late at night and I got the email. I'd been waiting for a long day. I'd heard that they were sending out emails, and I was like, I just want to know. And then they sent out the email, and like I got an email that said, we can't make a decision yet. We're putting you in the regular decision pool. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to wait another 4 months for this. And I was also just a little bit, I mean, my scores kind of just put me at the 25th percentile at the school, so I knew it was a reach. But I had a lot of friends and family who were saying, oh, but you know, you have enough to compensate for it. Like, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. And thinking back on that, yeah, it's easy for them to say that. But as for a college counselor who's looking at your application, that probably blends in, looks a lot the same as everyone else. They don't know your personality. They don't know a lot about you, except like for what's on the application. It's really just like a snapshot of you. I realize now that it was kind of, I shouldn't have really taken that to heart so much. I should have really thought a little bit more to prove that I had more to offer. I think about a lot of things of why I got deferred. Part of it, I talked in the last webinar, I think I put in way too many extracurriculars, and I really should have focused on a few. I like fluffed up my application a lot with those. In between that and the relatively low test scores. And looking back on it, I was involved with a lot of music stuff in high school, and so that I put a lot of that on my application, but I wasn't applying for a music program, which kind of, I think, in all of my applications caused a little bit of a disconnect. Like, oh, okay, so there's this person, they're really involved in music, but they want to be a psychology major. And I think if I had highlighted maybe some other experiences that were more directly related to, like psychology and sociology, what I ended up doing, I think that might have boosted my chances a little bit more. So a lot of possibilities. I never did find out.